First off, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Ilchak Wadash. That belongs to the apostles and elders of GMS that teach us this word. And shalom unto the hopefully elect upon the four corners of this earth that's trying to make it up out of here, working sincerely. So, the lesson that I want to bring out was going to be about how the elect, or not the elect, the nation of Israel is the salt of the earth. And how there's blatant proof that we're the salt of the earth. Because what does it mean for us to be the salt of the earth? What that means is that we're that flavor, we're that seasoning in the earth. What that means is, for example, you see in a person's spirit that they're Israel because we have rhythm, we can dance, we're talented. That's how the Most High made us. He made us have that swag to us. But Edomites don't have that. That's what makes us the salt of the earth. All 12 tribes of Israel, all of us, music is already in us. It's in us to have rhythm. It's in us to have that beat in music in us. We're able to just. Well, most of Israel is able to dance. There's some of Israel that doesn't like to dance. There's some of Israel that isn't good at dancing, but they still have that rhythm in them. They still have that. They have that 4-count beat that's already in them. They may not be able to read music. They may not be technically sound in music, but when it comes to the practicalities, music's already in them because they have that salt. They have that flavor in them. When you look at sports. Once Jake touches that sport, they're automatically the best at it. Look at basketball. Basketball was originally a white-dominated sport, and then once Jake got their hands on it, they just took over the entire sport. They made it their own. When you think of basketball, why do you think basketball is stereotyped with black people? It's because that's our sport now. We made it ours. We took the talent. We became the Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants because that's our sport, because we have that talent. We're the talented people in the world. When you look at anything, we're the inventors. We have the most talent. We have Michael Jackson. And the thing is, Michael Jackson started bleaching his skin to try and make himself look like an Edomite, because Edomites try to make themselves look like they're better, because essentially they're jealous that they don't have what we have. They're jealous that they don't have that swag that we have. They don't have that flavor that we have. But I don't want to get too off track. I'm gonna get this scripture proving that salt of the earth is us. So I'm gonna start back a little bit. Matthew chapter 5 verse 11. It says, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." So that's the Most High talking about how the prophets are gonna be persecuted and hated for the Most High's name's sake. And who are those prophets? That's the 144,000. That's the elect. And who can only be in the elect? Israelites, right? So here I'll move on. Verse 12 says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." So it's talking about how when the 1/3 and the elect get beamed up, when we get our prize in heaven, we're gonna get them new bodies. We're gonna get the kingdom, all those prizes that we're destined and prophesied to get. That's blatantly talking about the Israelites. So verse 13 says, "Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men." So the point of why I got that is just to prove that we are the salt of the earth. Because Esau loves to take credit for things that they don't have. You see all these things that Esau claims to have created, but then you look into the history of those things and you find out that it was actually a so-called black person. It was actually an Israelite who created these things, and the so-called white man takes credit for it. And that's why you gotta look at spirits, because we're scattered all over the earth. There's been there's been crossbreeding. There's been us going into different nations, and we don't look. All of us don't look black. We aren't black Hebrew Israelites. We're just Hebrew Israelites because there's 12 tribes of us. We have Negroes, we have Latinos, we have Native Americans. So some of us look different than others. There are some of us who may look Caucasian or like an Edomite, but you can tell that they're Israelite because of their spirit. You could tell they're Israelite because of the salt that they have. Here, I'll get 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. It says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are going out into the world. So it says, try the spirits whether they are of the Most High. Who is of the Most High? All of us are of the Most High, but who are the children of the Most High? Who are the Most High's favored? That's the Israelites. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. So you got to try the spirit so that you can see who is of Israel and who isn't. And sometimes it's hard to decipher who's an Israelite and who's not. But most of the time, you can tell when someone who looks like an Edomite is actually an Israelite, like Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake looks like an Edomite, but with the talent that he has, with the swagger that he has when he performs, you can tell that is an Israelite. With his talent, that flavor he carries himself with. Because us Israelites, we have something that other nations just don't have, especially Edomites. And so anytime Edomites have some type of credit that they can take when there's an Edomite that's a representative of them with something and they're good at it, they automatically take that. Like Larry Bird, that one of the greatest white basketball players, they glorify him. Why? Because it's one of the only representatives of Edomites that they have that is good at something that's dominated by Israelites. So they're gonna see that and automatically flock to it, because that's rare. That's rare for an Edomite to be great at something like an Israelite is. And Larry Bird still would never touch the greatest Israelites that's ever played basketball. You'll never see that. But yeah, that's why you gotta check the spirit so that you can know who's an Israelite, who isn't, who's part of them 12 tribes of Israel. Just because someone doesn't look like an Israelite doesn't mean that they're not an Israelite. And just because someone looks like an Israelite doesn't mean that they are an Israelite. Like a Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz's father is an Edomite, but Lenny Kravitz looks like he looks like a Negro. Without going into background research, by his looks, you'd never tell that that's an Edomite. But if you go back into his history, you'd see. If you look up Lenny Kravitz's father, you'd see that that's an Edomite. So that's why you gotta try the spirit, because there's confusion of faces at the moment throughout the earth. But the spirit doesn't lie. The physical appearance, the carnal appearance lies, but the spirit does not lie. That's going to tell you who's the salt of the earth and who isn't. And Edom is angry that we're the salt of the earth. They're jealous. They want some of that glory. They want that pride to have. They want that pride to that's why they steal all of our inventions, because they want that credit. They want something that they can be known for, that we can look at an Edomite and say, oh yeah, that's his. They want that. Here I get James chapter 3 verse 16. It says, for where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. So that confusion is seeing that a white person invented the light bulb and then looking more into it and saying that it was an Israelite. That's that confusion. That's that confusion that Esau puts out there because he wants that credit. He's jealous of what we have, and he doesn't. He's jealous of the salt of the earth because he wants some of that. Just like the stereotype that Edomites don't season their food. Why you think that's a stereotype? Because they don't have that seasoning. They don't have that salt that we got. They don't got that flavor, but we do. Esau does all this evil doing and puts all his strife on us, puts all that jealousy on us because he wants to have what we have. He wants to be what we are, but you can't do that. That's why Esau paints himself in a higher esteem and a higher picture than he is. That's why he whitewashes everything. He turned the image of Yahushua from a black man to a white man. A so-called black man to a so-called white man. Why? Because he wants that credit. He wants to be looked at as the purest form of man. Because he doesn't have what we have. He wants that credit because he's jealous. So he's going to do evil works for his jealousy to come true. He's going to do evil works due to his jealousy. He's going to cause confusion due to his jealousy. But it's okay because in the last days, the Most High is going to give him. We're going to get payback for it. We're going to get payback for that jealousy and envy that the so-called white man is putting throughout this earth. But yeah, I just wanted to bring out scriptures about who the salt of the earth is, talk about it a little bit, because with sports, with dancing, with television, entertainment, anything, just look at it and see who the top of the list is with that. It's gonna be Israelites, unless let's say it's a sport that Israelites just don't touch like hockey. And even with hockey, we got Wayne Gretzky. But Israelites don't normally play hockey, but I bet money if Israelites got into hockey, we kill all them Edomites in that. Israelites aren't known for playing golf, but Tiger Woods is the top of the chain with that. If once an Israelite touches a sport, we take that. And as a matter of fact, I think I got to look in on if Tiger Woods is an Israelite or not. I think it came out that he wasn't. But so I'll do a little bit of research. Y'all can do some research on that as well if you'd like to. But I'll do some research on that just for correction's sake if I'm incorrect on that. But other than that, you look at a sport, you look at any type of entertainment, any type of anything, music, rap is the most dominated type of music in the world. It's the most popular form of music in the world. Look up the numbers. It's the most popular type of music in the world. And who is known for rap? Who invented rap? Israelites. Because we got that flavor. We are the salt of the earth. We are the Most High's children. He gave us that gift. So that's all I wanted to bring out with that. With that being said, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, B'chak Wadash, and Shalom.